One of my absolute favorite topics to watch Christians do literal somersaults around the facts on the ground is why God is somehow not responsible for natural disasters. This commenter says, God created the forces of nature, which he could control. Humans chose to reject God and rule themselves. The result? God no longer controls nature. I don't know if you know this, but God designed nature. Did humans design tectonic plates? Did humans design the atmosphere? Did humans design how the ocean currents work? Did we do any of that? No. God did all of that. God designed the earth in a way in which earthquakes could be possible. God designed the earth in a way in which volcanoes were possible. God didn't have to do that. God chose to do that. God had the option at every step of the way to design the world in a different way, and he chose to design it this way, which means every natural disaster that happens is something that God caused because he has foreknowledge. He knew ahead of time before he created the world that the way in which he was going to create it was going to result in natural disasters. He knew ahead of time that humans would sin and fall, and that the world would be whatever way he wanted it to be after the fall. God dictated the consequences of the fall. He knew the fall was going to happen ahead of time. He dictated the consequences of that fall. And if you think that natural disasters are a consequence of the fall, that is still on God, because God decided what those consequences were going to be. He decided ahead of time that innocent people were going to die as a matter of routine through natural disasters for no fault of their own, only for the fault of a fictitious first couple that ate a fruit because they were placed in a garden, not knowing right from wrong, and then a serpent that could talk and was a trickster and a liar and a murderer from the start was placed in the garden with them to trick them, and God knew that was going to happen because he has foreknowledge. And he created this entity anyways to trick Adam and Eve, knowing what would happen, and he had the option to not create Satan. So just like the natural disasters, everything that happened only because God knew it was going to happen. He decided to make it in a way in which it would happen when he did not have a requirement to make it that way. He chose to make it that way. So when you have perfect foreknowledge and you're all powerful, everything that happens is your fault. The buck stops at you and nobody else.